Alright, so you already know before you get into any trade, even doing your weekly analysis, we got to be checking the news. So Monday is really not any action except for at 8:30. We have a red folder here. Tuesday, we do have some action at 8:30. As you can see, all these high impact right here. Now, I will tell you, Wednesday is really the day to be trading based off what I have seen. But also back to Tuesday, June 17th. All of this is at 8:30, and then you have 9:15. We have some medium impact as well. So it's important that you keep an eye out for that. But Wednesday is when it's going down, and I think it's going to be a very eventful day. So definitely trade with caution. I say that because starting at 2 when London opened, inflation rates is dropping with the Great British Pound. Then we're going to fast forward down here to the US dollar at 8:30, and it is just a lot going on. We got unemployment, housing, housing starts. Then we scroll down some more. At 10:30, you have oil, stock change. But what I really think is going to be the kicker of Wednesday is going to be this Fed interest rate decision at 1 o'clock. Between having that and there's going to be some speeches between 1 and 1:30, I think it's going to be a very crucial time to be in the market. So it's definitely going to be one of those days where you're either going to sit it out or the market is going to give us choppy and it's not really going to give us a chance to really be in it, or you're going to be patient and wait on the right setup and take advantage of what is going on Wednesday. So fast forward to Thursday, this is Juneteenth. We have, another interest rate decision, and that's at 7. I believe this is 7 in the morning if I'm correct. Yes, so this is 7 in the morning. And either way, every day you're supposed to be checking news anyway before you get in a trade. So I believe this is 7 in the morning. Interest rate decision. This is going to drive the market. We have all this news right here that's going on. Very important to be sure that you're checking that. Fast forward to Friday. Again, we have more high impact with the Great British Pound, and that is at London Open. And that's really it. And that's really it. But if you were to ask me, I would say on Wednesday, if anything this week, will probably just look forward to trading on Wednesday. But we'll see. But Wednesday is very eventful. So as I said, you trade with caution, wait for the perfect setups, and don't force a thing. But either way, every day, make sure you are checking this news before getting in a trade. We are looking at GBP USD currently on the monthly time frame. So just looking, we can see that the most recent high has been broken. It has been this strong uptrend on the monthly time frame. So of course the next zone we are seeing up here for it to reach. Going on to our weekly time frame, again we see the continuation of trend. As you can see, this is the most perfect picture of a uptrend. So we know that price is probably going to try to push past that since that most recent high has been broken. Remember, the higher time frames just tell you a bigger picture of what's going on in those lower time frames. That most recent high has been broken, and we see that it's trying to get a little push up. Going to our daily time frame, we see that a bearish candle is forming. I personally will probably have to, wrong tool. I personally would probably have to wait this out and see, because I feel like this, because the weekly time frame does show a strong uptrend, I would probably have to wait until tomorrow just to see what exactly price is going to do. Because on the daily we see bearish starting to form. So of course, if we get this break below that 1 hour trend, or excuse me, that weekly trend line, we know that there is going to be a structure shift. So with that being said, if we were to go to the next zone, I would expect for it to be a uptrend continuation here. Expect it to come back down and then continue its trend up. So I would expect that retracement around our infamous golden zone here. So we would expect entries and retracements around 1.36585 through 1.37111. So of course, take your profits. Don't get too greedy. Get what you can in this zone, but expect that retracement around this area. But also being mindful of news. Always have to be mindful of news because I could be completely wrong about all of this if there is a major news drop coming. Now, if price were to have a push down and break below this zone on that weekly time frame, we should be able to expect that, and that's if it breaks, but you always just want to take note of this just in case it does happen, because again, everything we come up with in the market is only ideas, okay? They're only ideas of what we can predict of what's going to happen. Oh, wrong tool. I probably wouldn't get too greedy with it, but something to just sit on is that price will probably come between the zone of 1.34332 and below, and of course expecting that retracement. So if it were to break below that weekly trend line, you would go in for some sell positions, catch what you can, watch that retracement, and it continue to push to this zone, to this next zone. But for the most part, I do believe that because our trend line, the trend never lies, based off that weekly as of right now, I would say it is in a uptrend. So we could be looking for buy positions, but after tomorrow, we'll be able to see what it does if it breaks that trend. Alright, and here's the NAS100 starting with the monthly time frame. I think this week I'm going to be trading the NASDAQ. As you can see here, price has broken the most recent high. For me, I would need a little bit more oomph in it. But either way, we know that it broke the most recent high, and that's all that matters. Alright, and now on the weekly time frame. So as we've seen already that price has already broke the most recent high on the monthly, bringing it to the next time, or excuse me, the lower time frame. We see here that a bearish candle is forming. So that's something to be on the lookout for. And the trend that we do see, as to confirm, we are in an uptrend. But with these bearish candles forming, we already know, same thing with GU, if price does break this trend line, we would have to be looking for sell positions. So what we would be looking for this week is if price can break this most recent high that I do have marked over here on the purple line on this time frame. So if price was to break above this line, then we for sure would be in a strong uptrend continuation. So that's something to be on the lookout for. Following, we are on the daily time frame. We see a bearish candle. As you can see, it's starting, it looks like it's trying to push down, but there's also no closure. I don't see a wick. So remember, with those candle wicks, or excuse me, with those candles, if there's no wick, it could be a little iffy because price can instantly choose to reverse. So as of right now, my bias, my ideal would be that it will continue in an uptrend. But something will also tell me that this could possibly be a retracement area. Yeah, so this could be a trend continuation. So it's something to be on the lookout for. So if we grab our fib tool, I'm going to see if price were to extend up. The only thing is, as far as the zones, I don't want to get too greedy and extend way up here. But just to see, because one thing that I will say is if there is closure above this line, we know for sure we are in the green for a continuous uptrend. So I would pretty much put that entry right here. Nothing to really swing left to. So between the zones of 22,182.28 to 22,403.05 will be those zones to either look for retracement and your entries. So you're looking, you can get in, grab what you can, but be careful for that retracement when price does come back to touch these levels and continue its trend. As of right now, this just happened. It kind of just broke, but again, it's no candle closure. So we'll keep an eye out on NAS because honestly, I'm not too sure, only because I feel like this small candle did not get enough push up that I feel like it's about to come down and retrace. And if anything, then continue to push up, but it may continue to push down. So this one is a question mark. So let's see what it does with this weekly trend line and keep an eye out for that. And just in case, we always stay ready, so we ain't got to get ready. Just in case price does decide to dip, I would take it to the first zone just to see. So I normally go key level to key level, but just to give you more of a better sense, I think for me more of the confirmation will be once the structure gets below 20,868.43, or excuse me, 41, it would officially be changing to bearish. So it's just something to keep an eye out on. We're going to keep an eye out on that weekly trend line to see what happens. But once again, make sure you're paying attention to news because I could be completely wrong with all of it, but at the same time, I am telling you it is a big question mark. But now you know where those entries and retracement levels can be.